Hello, people. Just waiting for everybody to see that the live video just started. Waiting for everyone. Hello, guys. How you doing today? How's the weather like where you are now? You're working. Tell me, guys, what's the weather like where you are right now? Here where I am in Brazil, it's really sunny and it's warm. So it's a nice day to go to the beach. I'm just waiting for teacher Érika. She's gonna join me today. We're gonna talk about how to learn English on the internet. Okay, so if you're interested, stay with me. Stay with us. She's gonna be here soon. Hi, Bia. Hi. Oh, so it's cloudy. Oh, okay. Is it warm there? What's your name? Ribeiro. It's the hottest day for this week, 35 degrees. Okay, where are you from? Fisnik. In India is warm and it's, oh, okay, it's night there. Nice. Okay, so I was just asking everybody how is the weather, or what's the weather like where they are. So teacher Érika, are you with me? Are you here? Hi, join me. Send me an invitation. There, okay, so. Alexandre, you are from Fortaleza. Hello.
I'm finally here.
Hi.
Hello, Isabele, teacher Isabele.
Hi,
Thank you for inviting me. I'm doing great, thank you. What about you?
I'm good. Today, I was just telling everyone that today is a beautiful day here where I live. It's sunny and it's warm, and it's supposed to be winter, right? But
Yeah.
it looks and feels like summer.
Yeah, here it's almost a little bit like that. It's a bit chilly now. The usual temperature here is around 26, 27 degrees, and now it's 24, which is a sign that the temperatures are dropping here. Okay. And I like, yeah, it lowers just a few degrees, just like never lower than that. But I like it. It's nice. It's nice here too. The sky is blue, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Hello, everyone.
Nice. And where are you from? Sorry, I haven't asked you. Yeah,
I'm from Belo Horizonte in Minas Gerais, and I live here. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Have you been? Have you been here, Isabele?
Belo Horizonte? No, I haven't. I'd love to, actually. What's it like there? Tell us a little bit about Belo Horizonte.
Belo Horizonte is a funny city because it's a big city. I think it has around 3 million inhabitants, something like that. So it's big, but the feeling is the feeling of a small town. I don't know how this is possible.
Wow.
But this is the feeling that we have here of a small town. Why? I don't know why.
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Knows each other, maybe?
Yeah, I like to walk. I don't drive, and I always see someone I know in the streets. I always, and I don't know. I think it's just people's behavior, how people think, and also this feeling of knowing people. It's bizarre, but I like it. Yeah.
I'm from Balneário Camboriú. It's Santa Catarina.
Oh, cool.
Have you heard about it, or have you been?
I've heard. Yeah. No, I've never been to the south. Never. The farther south I've been is São Paulo, just that. Okay. I would love to know the south, but I've heard, I've had many students who either lived or visited Balneário Camboriú, and they say great things about it.
Yeah, it appeared on the program Fantástico, you know?
Really?
Yeah, they showed Balneário there, and they said it's like the Brazilian Dubai.
The Brazilian Dubai. Why?
Yes.
I never. Hello, Fabio. Why did they say that?
Because we have like really tall buildings here.
Ah, okay.
Like what the tallest building in Brazil or in South America is here.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm not sure if it's in Brazil or South America. Is anyone from Balneário Camboriú here watching us? Please help me with this information, because I'm not sure, but I think it's the tallest in Brazil.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll do some.
It's weird, like it's too tall, you know. I can't believe it's similar to Dubai, because Dubai has like the tallest buildings, and the infrastructure is so fancy and stuff, and here it's not like, it's not literally like Dubai, but it kind of resembles.
Yeah. But is it a hotel, or is it, what kind of building is it? Is it residential building or office building, or is it a mix? Do you know?
Usually residentials, but there are some business like office buildings. There are some also.
Okay.
And like it's a touristic city, so a lot of people come here from all over Brazil and from other countries too. So it's a small city. It's not a big city, but like during summer, there are so many people, and it's really crowded. And everywhere you go, there's a line. You have to stand in line.
Okay. So there is an impact on the people who live there, like you, right? You feel the difference immediately.
Completely, yes. Like December, Christmas and New Year, it's impossible to go around. I don't even drive, you know. I just walk, because it's impossible to drive. It's terrible.
So people already have strategies, right, to use during different times of the year.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. But I like it, you know. I love to live here because it's a small place, like it's a small city, kind of. But you have access to everything you'd like. Like you have everything you want, like the same as a big city, you know.
Oh, that's great. It sounds great. Yeah, I'd really like to visit it.
And the nature is really good too, so you should come. And
I love hiking. Yeah, and the beaches, right?
Yeah.
And
beaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really fun.
So, Teacher Érika, tell me a little bit about you. So, how long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching for a long time. I think I graduated first. Before I graduated in letters, I graduated in architecture 25 years ago. But right after I did that, I started teaching privately, and then at schools. And then I did the master's degree in English literature. And then I did the letters course, you know, and it was a little bit of a crazy kind of course in terms of a sequence, but it's been a while. And I love languages. And it's not just English. English is the language I feel I like it a lot, but I feel it helps me learn other things, especially now, because I started learning English and teaching before the internet. And now, after the internet, English is everything. It allows you to have access to so many different things and knowledge also, right? So I always tell the students, there are so many great free courses online that you can access, especially if you know English. Because, for example, Portuguese, if you do a search in Portuguese, you will find very few things and very few courses. Everything is very limited. So the internet changed everything. So when you asked me about the topic for today, what I like talking about, there are so many things that I like talking about. But the internet is, you know, something that is very, very much present in my life as a language learner.
Yes.
It has changed the way I learn. And I noticed it has changed the way people learn. Other people learn too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
do you teach privately? Do you have an English school, or what do you do exactly?
No. Yeah, in the past I taught at language schools, and now it's been a while now. I've been teaching privately, tutoring, and I'm a private teacher, and only one-on-one, not
okay.
Yes, not never more than one student. Except for here. Now I've been doing these live streams, which I really like, very short classes here on Instagram, but it's different. It's a different kind of class, but I prefer one-on-one. Because, yeah, it's different.
Okay.
I've been doing that on Skype. Yeah, and only virtually on Skype. Not presential. Yeah, they're not presential classes.
Okay, nice. Great. And how do you feel like it's different for you from working in a language school and now working as a private teacher? Do you like it better, or how do you feel? What's the difference in your life?
It depends on people's profile. For me personally, my profile teaching the way I'm teaching now is the best because of my my personal characteristics. So for me, it's a bit hard to be in a classroom with a lot of people, everybody talking at the same time, having to control people, you know, organize everything and make people interact. This is very, very hard for me. It's easier for me to focus on one person, you know, and to focus on the person for one whole hour, which is the duration of the class. So I can give my whole attention. I can focus on that student and focus on the needs of that student. And it's very rewarding because I can see in a very concrete way the development of the student. Yeah. And when there is a class with a lot of students, it's a little harder to see that. So the students have to be even more independent. I tell my students, which is just like those are individual classes, I tell them to be, actually I train them to become independent, proactive, curious, all these things. But if you are in a classroom with a lot of people, you need to do that to go even, you know, further than that. And you cannot rely only on that class. You cannot not rely only on the teacher. You have to do a lot more by yourself, which is great, right? I think the secret is to find a way to become passionate. If you're not passionate naturally, try to find a way to find the passion. Find the passion. Once you find the passion for the language, you know, everything counts as something that can help you learn. Everything, anything.
Yeah.
You know, that for me, for example, there is no such thing as bad material, a bad resource, a bad teacher, a bad school. No. For me, there is nothing like that. Everything can help in one way or another. So when you have this attitude of being independent and involved and engaged, everything can
help.
Be beneficial. Anything can help. Yeah.
That's true.
That's how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fabio Fernandes is saying, thank God I can understand what you say. I've been improving my listening skills every single day, depending on my free time. That's great, Fabio. Well done.
Yeah, well done. Hello, Camila.
That's the way to go. I wish one day I can be your students. what's your name? Zomrad? I'm sorry, I can't read your name.
Zamrad. Yeah, Zamrad.
Nice. I think here it's a she, right? On the picture, and yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I think she wants to be your student because when you were talking, she said, "Oh, she's a great teacher." So.
Oh, thank you. English from Iran. Great. There are many people from Iran here. As a language learner myself, I'd love to start learning Persian. It's my plan to sometime in the future. My plan for next year is to start with Russian, start learning Russian.
Wow.
And yeah, and because there are many Russians here too, but a lot of Persians, and it's very exciting. Learning language is super exciting.
Yeah. Camila Bento said, hello, fill me in. So Camila, we are talking about learning new languages, English basically, and how you can do that on the internet using like things you have on the internet, you know. So just Teacher Érika was saying that it's all about being passionate about the language and being curious to learn, you know, and I totally agree with that because once you are curious, you want to know more, you know, you have this passion about the language.
Yeah.
Everything counts, like everything, every piece of information is important and you will learn with that, you know. So it's not about how much information you got, but it's how you deal with the information you have there, you know. So yes. Like I've met people that learned English with basic, like with a course book. Like they just found like out of nowhere they found a course book for beginners and they started reading it and they started doing the exercises, and like after like 3-4 months they could like communicate a little all by themselves with a course book. No internet, nothing, just a course book.
No teachers, nothing. I
have a friend that is like that, you know? He's an exception, of course, because it's really hard to learn by yourself. I think like everyone can do that, and that's fine, you know. You're not stupid because you can't learn by yourself. It's actually difficult, but you know, I don't know how some people, they just get a book and they can learn English by reading this language book. And you don't have to do that, but it's like we are just comparing. Like it's not about how much information. It's just about how you use the information you have there. Your
attitude, it has to be open. You have to be open to learning, open to this new language. You have to accept this new language, all the differences that it comes with from Portuguese, for example, and accept and admire and respect. I don't know if Isabel froze. No, you're here. And so this is very important. I was Camila. Camila is a teacher too. And Camila is a passionate learner and a teacher like me. So she's saying, I learned English by myself. Through the internet, yes. And Aaron is saying, I study English and I use English to learn German and Russian. Yes, Aaron. I love that. I love that. That's what I tell people to do. Learn English first and then use it to learn. You know, there's so many other things you can learn. You can learn other languages. You can learn things connected to your job, you know, courses, all kinds of courses. So it's awesome. That's what I do too. I use English. This is actually, I want to, because English is my most, you know, my strongest foreign language, I would say. So I use it to learn other languages, but I would like to use another language. I don't know, maybe Spanish, which I have learned for a shorter time. Use it to learn something else. It's possible to to do something like that. Learn Farsi with Teacher Saj. Yeah, Teacher Saj has been teaching Farsi. I've been watching his videos there. This is great, guys. And yeah, one idea for you is to teach your own language here on Instagram. Use English as a basis, because English is the language that, after all, connects all of us here. Use English so you have a chance to practice your English and teach your own language. It's like me teaching Portuguese, me or teacher Isabele teaching Portuguese using English as a basis, right? This would be awesome. Awesome. I follow everyone who teaches different languages here on Instagram. I love that.
Nice. Great. And how did you learn English?
It was before the internet. So I had English in my school, but then I started going to a language school. I think I went to a few, 2 or 3 language schools, and until I reached a kind of intermediate, after like 3 years, I already could communicate a little bit on my own. So I did an exchange program. I went to the US, I lived there for a year, and I could, it helped me mostly with confidence. So it gave me a boost in my confidence, because I was super shy as a child, as a teenager. And even now I'm still learning strategies to deal with that. But for those of you who are shy, who feel shy, I recommend taking risks like I did. I spent 1 year by myself in the US, but take risks. Today you can record yourselves, right? So, well, after that, after I came back from the US and before the internet, I started learning other languages. For example, French. I went to a language school to learn French. And after I started teaching English at another language school, where there was a Spanish teacher and an Italian teacher, I learned these languages with them a little bit. I started learning with them. And finally, we started using the internet. It was after 1995. After that, I started using the internet a lot. And more recently, after the year 2000, this has been snowballing in a good way, because I've been becoming more and more involved with people who have been learning languages and teaching languages. Last year, for example, I did this experiment. I created an account on Instagram, a separate account as a language learner. And then I started following a lot of teachers and a lot of language learners too. My focus was on Polish. Last year, I learned how to speak Polish.
Wow.
I spent the whole year practicing that. I had classes with Polish teachers. I met a lot of Polish people, made friends. We have become friends, and it was very, very good. And I recommend that to people here too.
So
to do that, yeah.
If someone wants to learn English, for example, they should follow. What's your suggestion here? They should follow people from English-spoken countries, and then I would recommend.
Yeah, I would recommend creating a different account, an account just for English learning or language learning. A separate account. I wouldn't, use the same account you use for your family, friends, etc., because it distracts a lot. I always tend to focus. So create an account just for that, just for English. On this account, follow teachers that you like. So explore. I follow, and you probably follow too, teachers from all over the world. Right? I do that. I like to do that. It's really nice to meet different people, different teachers. So as an English learner, you can follow all these teachers, interact with the teachers, take part in the live streams, write comments, questions, ask questions. Try to use what you have learned right? So I taught in this past live streams how to ask politely, polite requests, and how to thank people and things like that. Try to use that. Also in the posts here, still on Instagram, try to always write an example sentence using what the teacher is teaching, right? The point that is being taught. Try to connect with other learners too. Try to find partners here. Try to observe other people and follow them, because they want to learn English too. So follow these other learners, connect with them. Here, you need to be very, very, very polite. Very polite, especially because there are a lot of different cultures here. So again, you need to kind of know the other person's culture and learn the best way to approach them, because there is a variety of ways you can do that, and sometimes people can sound or seem rude and the other person will not want to engage. So it's all about learning about the other person's culture. It's all about doing that, So, and this is only here on,
Sorry, I was just reading the comment. Mary Stephanie said, please teachers, give us some tips to improve the speaking when you have nobody to talk to, that you can talk to.
Okay.
So that's what you were saying, basically. Yeah, you have to engage with people and with other learners. That's a great way to practice your speaking. Even though you don't know anyone right now that wants to practice English, you can find someone that does, by commenting, by interacting, like doing what you're doing right now. Stephanie, I think that's really nice, because you are commenting, and other learners can see you, and maybe like you can have a friendship, like, and
talk to each other and start a friendship.
Other in English. That's how
Patrick,
I learned too. That's how everybody learns, It's hard to practice speaking if you're not talking to someone. It's hard to practice by yourself, right?
But there are, I would say, Isabelle, there are ways. For example, in my case, last year, I was learning Polish. And even though a lot of Polish people asked me, they offered help. I was a bit too shy because my vocabulary was very, very small. I knew very few words. I wasn't very confident about my grammar. What I did the whole year, so for you guys who want to practice speaking, before talking to someone else, what I did was I recorded myself. First, I spent the first 6 months focusing on pronunciation. I wanted to get the sounds right. So what I did in this case, as a beginner, I memorized short sentences. Okay, I got very short and simple sentences from a story, a text, whatever. And then I used Google Translate to listen to the pronunciation. And I repeated many, many, many times, and I memorized those words. This helped me understand like the sequence of words in Polish and the sounds and things like that. It helped me get more familiarized with that. So as a beginner again, that helped me a lot. And when I remember other people trying to learn Polish, I feel they had a much harder time because they didn't have that. They didn't do that. They were too shy even to record themselves. So, they are still afraid of speaking. I see that these people are still afraid of speaking to anyone, to themselves, to anyone. So recording helped me overcome this barrier of, listening to myself speaking this completely new language, which is Polish. After a year, I felt a lot more comfortable with the language. And I can even, if someone asked me to say something, like a Polish person asked me to say something here, I would try to say something without feeling bad or shy or something like that. So I uploaded my videos on Instagram, to my page so other people could help me. And I got a lot of help from people. They are always commenting on my pronunciation, on a lot of stuff, and it helped me improve as a beginner. If you are reaching an intermediate level, then you can change this a little bit and you can record yourself, but talking about stuff you see to yourself. So try to look out the window, describe what you see outside, describe people in your family, describe the place where you live, describe your day. You know, this is to yourself. But you need to observe yourself. You cannot just record it. You have to watch the video and pay attention at your strong points, what is good already, and things that you need to improve. I always tell my students to practice this self-observation. Self-observation, self-correction. Of course, if you have a teacher, that's great, but you need to be as independent as possible, right? So this can be very helpful. So recording myself has helped me a lot. You don't need to upload the videos like I did. A lot of students now, they just record even their voices. They don't like to record, video, right? Using a video. They just record the audio. But the point is, they listen to themselves many, many times, and they record the same thing many times. And each time they do that, they improve something. And it gets better and better and better. You know, so this could be a way
to improve.
Renato, Renato, my accent is weird. Yes. About accent, just a quick thing, a quick observation about an accent. I was talking to a teacher the other day. She's American. She lives in Texas. And by the way, follow her. It's teacher Layla, and her account is Empower English. And we were talking about that. Someone was worried about grammar, about accent, Someone said, oh, they said, Teacher Layla, one day I want to speak exactly like you because it's beautiful the way you speak. And then she said, don't do that. Don't do that. Forget about that. Be yourself. I think this was one of the highest, points in my week, this past week, when she said that, because it's so liberating. It gives you the freedom to be yourself. Use other people as motivational, other people to inspire you, to motivate you. But don't aspire to be exactly like someone else. Be yourself. You are unique. And when we're talking about learning languages here, there is as many different ways to learn a language as there are people in the world. More than 7 billion different ways to learn a language. And you have your own unique way to do that. So connect with people who are involved with this and test it out, test things out, see what works for you, and do things your own way. When we're talking about the accent, it's the same thing. You understand me? That's fine. Okay, that is my way of speaking. You will have your own unique way of speaking. If people don't understand you, that's a different thing. Then you need to be more clear. You have to clarify stuff, maybe improving your pronunciation or explaining things in a different way. This is part of communicating with another human being. We are human beings. We are not robots.
Exactly.
Right? Use the internet to help you.
Okay. Treinador Ronaldo is saying, I studied English for 6 years, but in Brazil, we don't use English. So I lost a lot of my speaking. My listening is almost 100%. I don't have people to talk to. What could I do? That's basically what we've been talking about. The first thing I think to improve your confidence, as teacher Érika just said, you could record yourself and listen to it many times and try to improve your pronunciation. Just get your mouth around the words and how to say stuff in a new language, in English, for example. And after you can pronounce that really well and you feel confident enough, I think the best thing you should do is try to find other people with the same goal as you. Learning,
Yeah.
someone that is learning a language, the same language as you.
Yes.
And
né? You didn't even... Go ahead, Isabel.
okay, now
Renata is saying, Renata is saying that he's how do you say that? He's not a, he criticizes himself a lot. Maybe that's the way we say that. We don't say I'm a critic, right? I beat myself too much. So Renato, what I would say, because this is a very common thing, a common way to feel. A lot of people, they beat themselves up a lot, like you, Renato. And they do that. This is a common attitude. They say, oh my God, my English is horrible. You're writing in Portuguese here. You're not even writing in English. So don't try not to feel that way, not towards yourself, not towards other people. Try to focus on the positive side. We use English to communicate, to connect. We want to connect. I'm connecting with teacher Isabelle here. I'm connecting with you. We are trying to exchange ideas. Share ideas. So what I would say to people who beat themselves up a lot is, don't do that. You're harming yourself by doing that. That's not very beneficial. So try to find a more constructive way to a better relationship with the language. In this way, try to see it in a more positive light. Like Fabio here. Fabio focuses on the connection. Everybody makes mistakes. Because again, we are not robots. We are human beings. Mistakes are forever. It's part of the learning process. Another part of the learning process is learning with our mistakes and avoiding repeating the same mistakes. But this will vary on many things. For example, if you're tired, and if you're a native speaker, you will make a lot of mistakes. When I have a bad night's sleep, I make a lot of mistakes in Portuguese. In English, doesn't matter the language, I don't feel good. When there is a big problem, right? If you have a big problem in your life, it will affect the way you communicate. If you feel anxious, if you feel frustrated, if you feel any of those feelings, it will affect the way you speak. So the best thing to do is to remain calm, remain positive, focus, on the good things. Yeah. This is more productive, I would say.
Okay, nice. Very good observation. So, basically we were talking about accents, and I just want to share something that might help some people. When I started studying English, I was 10 years old, really young. At a really young age, I went to England with my mom, actually. She went there to study, and I went with her. And I know my accent is American. Everybody asks me why. It's because I've been teaching American English for more than 7 years now. So it just got to me, and it's hard to let it go because now everything.
And it's very cute.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Everything I watch is American, so that's the power of practicing your listening, right? So you listen to something and you pronounce stuff the same way. So I only listen to American English, so my pronunciation is American. If I go back to England, I will probably start speaking British English again. And it's not my fault. Yeah. It's just the way I'm built. I usually absorb things really fast. So probably if I go to Australia, I'm going to talk like them, and that's the way it is.
And that's good. That's right.
But anyway, when I was learning, I had this like biggest worry in my life, which was accent. I was like, oh no, I have a Brazilian accent. What am I gonna do? I don't want to talk. I'm shy. I'm ashamed of my accent. You know, I'm the different girl. Everybody speaks like perfect English, and I'm the different one. You know. And I was so worried about that. And that was actually, I was like beating myself up. You know, that was terrible for my learning process. And then after, you know, I was a child, then a teenager, and it's hard to, like, to overcome this when you are young, right? When you are a teenager, because you are too worried about what people think about you. And after, like, I started teaching, I was like, oh my God, everybody goes through the same process. Everybody's afraid of speaking at first, you know? And this is something you have to build, you know? It's not something, like, not many people are very confident at first, you know? Probably like most people, they feel afraid of speaking at first. And, you know, I was like, what? If I can communicate, that's amazing. So why should I be afraid? Why should I be ashamed of myself? You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm the different one.
Exactly.
And I'm proud of that because, you know, I can speak languages. I can maybe like, some people can speak 4 languages, and that's amazing, you know? You shouldn't care.
Being different, being different is an advantage, right? It's not a disadvantage. It's an advantage.
It's amazing. Imagine if everybody were the same. The world would be a boring place to live, you know?
Boring. Yeah, so boring.
I just love being myself. I'm not ashamed of who I am, and that's the beauty of it, you know?
Yes. And I totally agree with you. Completely agree with you. Couldn't agree more. Gio Gonçalves. People, different parts of the world have accents. Yes, Asian, American, European, speaks to different sounds. Yes. And especially today.
And I love different accents, you know?
Me too.
I think it's so cute. I think it has all this, how can I say this?
It's charming.
It's charming,
I think.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's great.
What else? And so I learned English by talking to other people. I didn't have access to internet so much when I was learning. And I felt that it was a little bit harder because it's so much easier now to learn a language. Like if I have a question, I can just type it on Google, and there I'll have like so many answers to my questions.
Dozens of answers.
And I will have so Can you hear me?
You're back. Yeah, now I can.
So a language is something that is always changing, and like what some people say in a country, in other country they say it differently, and you know it varies a lot, you know. So it's great to get other opinions, and you can find that on the internet. You know, you can find different opinions on the internet because sometimes what people say in the UK is different from what people say in America, and you know. And you can learn both ways, and it's really nice. It's really that's the.
This is fascinating.
Nowadays, right?
Yeah, I think this is fascinating. There are different ways to say the same thing, to talk about the same thing. You know, different phrases, different expressions, different words, And because it connects us with the culture, you know, of where the language is spoken. I've been using Duolingo a lot. I talk a lot about Duolingo. I'm not being paid to talk about it, but I think for me at this point, it is the best app to learn a language. It's the best. And I've been trying to learn a few different languages. Recently, it was Hawaiian. And, you know, it's a completely different world. Learning the language, you start to get a feel of the people, you know, and it's a different, of course, we're all human beings, but, you know, you have their own characteristics, and this is so, it adds to my life. I think learning different languages adds to my life. It contributes. It helps me become a better person. You start to empathize more with other people. Other people have different ways to deal with problems, to deal with life, to, you know, different strategies, different ways to see things. You know, so the same events can be seen in many different ways, and different cultures show this, different ways to approach something. It's fascinating.
Yeah. So when you learn a new language, you learn a new culture, and you get to know like a new world, right?
Yes. I think that for me it feels less claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Claustrophobic.
Yeah.
You know, because there is more space around me. That's what I feel. Claustrophobic.
Yes, that's right.
This idea of claustrophobia for me is very oppressive. I don't like it. I like to expand. And having access to other cultures is, I feel, it makes me feel good. It's healthy,
yes,
I guess.
It's really healthy. Camila Bento is asking us, do you two teach in language schools or just online? Camila, I have my own school here in Balneário Camboriú. It's like a little language center where I have two other teachers working with me, and we have private classes and small groups of people, like groups of 6 people, and we teach from the beginner level to advanced level. I have a British teacher working with me. He lives here.
Nice.
And he teaches intermediate level and advanced, and it's really nice. So we have
what ages, Isabelle? What ages? Children, teenagers, adults?
Some teenagers, but mainly adults, because
cool.
Like people who come to me, they have had other experiences with language schools, and they haven't learned so much. So they kind of come to me like in a way, oh, so I want to learn in a different way. I've already tried so many things, and I couldn't learn. So
this is very common.
Help me this time. I want to learn for real. And that's what I do. Like, I talk to the student. I get to know the student first. I get to know their needs, what they want. And then I try to fit the student in the best class, you know? So, oh, so this student knows a little bit of English, but he doesn't practice conversation. So, you should go and have classes with a group. You know, in a group. Yeah. So you can try to interact a little, to be less ashamed, to be less afraid of speaking. And it helps a lot. And students come to me and they were like, oh my God, in the beginning I couldn't talk to anybody, and now I can communicate to different kinds of people. And that's amazing. That's why I love teaching small groups, because I can focus on everyone and they can interact with each other. That's amazing, you know?
That's great. I think it's one thing that I think I mentioned it in the beginning. I would like to say it again. is that it's very important as a student to know what kind of, you know, profile is your own characteristics. And experiment with all kinds of classes, courses, teachers, because again, people are different, right? And you will need to find something that will work for you, like Isabele's students here. And because the thing is, the course itself, the book, the app itself, you know, we cannot say that it's good or bad. It doesn't have this, but the way if it fits you, then it's perfect for you. Yeah. So there is a resource, there is a teacher, there is school for everyone.
Yeah, that's
so
what I try
you need
to
to know yourself and find that out.
That's what I try to do. I have the first thing I do, I have a conversation with them. So tell me a little about yourself. Tell me
get to know them.
Your job. Tell me, like, so I can understand what you need, you know, and try to help you to guide.
This is very important.
Guide the student in the right direction, you know, because each person is different. Each person learns in a different way, and that's cool, you know. What else I was going to tell you? Okay, so I teach at my language center, and also I have an online course for beginners. So if you are, I don't know if there are beginners here because we are just talking in English, so probably beginners are not watching us right now. But I have this course for beginners, and I teach from like how to say my name is to like things you can use when you're talking to someone new, like expressions and grammar and pronunciation. And so I have this course, online course for beginners only at the moment.
Cool.
But I want to release other courses like for pre-intermediate level, intermediate, and have like a sequence of courses online. Because I think
that's a great project.
Yeah, it's a different way of studying also, you know. So if you watch my videos, you like the way I talk, you like the way I teach, then you can buy the course, and you can, it's just another way of improving yourself, improving your English, you know. You can use so many different materials and things nowadays, but I think when you have like someone to guide you, it's so much better, because
it is. This is something I missed. Yeah, this is what I still miss. Learning other languages. I miss not having a teacher. No, I don't like the idea of not having a teacher. A teacher helps a lot. It speeds up the process. You know,
thank God,
especially if you have no. Especially if you. That's our job. Yeah,
that's our job.
At some point. Teachers will be necessary, especially if you have no practice in learning languages by yourself. You're just starting now. It will be a very long and hard road without a teacher. So. Yes, it is. I miss that. I had a few classes with Polish teachers last year. It was, you know, completely different than when I'm studying by myself. And now with German, I haven't had any classes with. I had in the past. It is different. It is different. The way you communicate, because, and it's different also. From talking to another person, because there is this app that I tell students about. It's called Tandem, where you can meet people and you can talk to them, but they are not English teachers. They speaking a language doesn't know, you know, how to teach the language, how to help other people understand the language, and sometimes you get even more confused than, you know, you would be. So it is. All these possibilities are useful. Of course, talk to someone, talk to a native speaker, or talk to another Brazilian who is learning English. Talk to a teacher too. Have a class with a teacher, because these are all different experiences that in the end you will have and will contribute with your learning process in a different way. So
That's
I
right.
miss that.
Teacher Érika, we have like a few minutes. Do you have anything else you'd like to say, or?
Well, I would like to thank everyone here. I know that everyone has been working hard on their progress here, learning English, so keep at it. Try to study every day. That's what I do. I study every single day. Try to have goals, short-term goals, like 1 month goals, and achieve that goal, create another goal. Try to work with that. Try to find a way to feel passionate. If you are not, try to feel passionate about the language, because that will make you find solutions for eventual possible problems you have, stumbling stones that you have on your path. You will find ways to overcome those obstacles. So yeah, try to feel passionate about it.
Nice. I couldn't agree more. So, guys, thank you so much for watching us, for joining us.
So Aaron speaks German and Russian. Oh, next year I'll be saying thank you in Russian here. Hopefully.
Nice, great. And thank you, Teacher Érika, for joining me. It was awesome. I really liked it. And yeah, so guys, follow Teacher Érika, and that's it, basically. I'll see you next video, right?
Next video. Thank you so much for inviting me, Isabelle. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, bye, guys. See ya.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
Bye.